Hello, hello. Welcome to Lenders and Friends. We are here today to talk about AI, super hot topic. Everybody's using it. If you ain't using it, you're falling behind. So I'm excited to see what we're going to talk about today. Just for a little bit of background for people who don't know, Lenders and Friends is a private lending collective. We are a virtual community where we connect, learn, and grow together on the topic of private money lending, which is using your own money and lending it out to investors, real estate investors, it could be business owners, whoever, for double-digit returns, typically, is what we're getting. Those can be short-term loans, long-term loans, however you want to run it. So this is what we focus on. We have educational programs, we have accelerators, courses, memberships, all the things. And so we have free programming like this to provide value and make connections and give education to people. So thank you for being here. And today we are going to be speaking with Andrea Saunders, who has an extensive background in real estate, but also in AI, even in the area of title, which I thought was super interesting. So I'm interested to see how all those things converge because I feel like when you talk to somebody, they can't really separate, all the buckets of knowledge that makes up who they are. So I always love to see how things overlap. But without further ado, I will go ahead and introduce Andrea, and you could tell us about yourself, and we can get started.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that intro, Ashley. So AI is helping you not only find deals, it's absolutely helping you protect your money. And in this market, protection is profit, right? I am Andrea Saunders, realtor, coach, co-creator of Chocolate AI, and I specialize in helping real estate professionals and private lenders build and accelerate their real estate businesses, particularly using AI. So I'm super excited. I have a few other credentials. Sometimes I forget all the work that I've done, but for the acknowledgement and also to further my credibility, right? I've been doing real estate in the DMV for 20 years, over 20 years now. Um, Co-leader of the Marquee Group of Samson Properties. I'm also a project management professional, scrum master, notary, and licensed title insurance producer. I feel like I'm missing something else, but I say all that to say that real estate has really taught me a lot. And the way I have been able to build my business is by helping other professionals, especially private lenders and investors, use what I have learned to build not only their businesses, but to protect it as well. So we're going to get into the ways you can use AI to accelerate your business, but also incorporate trusted vendors such as title insurance producers, title companies, and all of the hosts of other real estate professionals to secure and back what AI helps you do. So we use AI for acceleration, and then we use our trusted vendors for that additional due diligence and support. So I did create a slideshow, and it's just really as talking points to keep us guided. And at the end, we can ask any questions you may have and also give you the opportunity to connect. And I also have this amazing tool where you can do an AI audit to see what areas AI can help you in your own business. So it'll give you a score at the end, show you what areas you can have or that can use some improvement. And if you so choose, me and my team can assist you with doing that. So, how private lenders can use AI to vet borrowers, protect capital, and close faster. So, we know AI accelerates everything, helps everything move faster. But again, the caveat is to have trusted professionals to secure and follow up what AI does. Because AI is amazing, right? But it is not perfect. So, you want to have your professionals that have been doing this business, that have the experience that can support the what you have used AI to support you in your business with. So why do lenders lose money? The number one reasons, well, AI is no longer optional. We already confirmed that. Protects your capital, flags risk early, and accelerates closing. And that segue, we will segue into why lenders are using money. So the top reason lenders are using money is because of poor borrower vetting. They're not properly checking the credentials or what these borrowers are presenting to them. They're taking at face value, and they're missing red flags, right? When it comes to private lending, I'm sure Ashley, you can attest to, is just certain things that that stand out to you, right? That make you question if a borrower is viable.
Definitely.
And sometimes in business, people are eager to do business and they miss those initial red flags. Um, but I would say the number one reason is unreliable vendors. So we know when we're closing deals, we have a host of real estate professionals that we're using. But if they're not reliable or trusted, they can totally cost you the deal. And I had a client, for example, I met at the bank, and he mentioned this is just residential homeowner, but the same thing with investors. They mentioned they were looking to buy a property and they had worked with other lenders. And I recommended one of my trusted lenders. Now, this is a lender I've worked with on multiple deals, and he has been tested and proven and shown me that he can get the job done. I love the way he does business. His follow up is amazing. So I connected this buyer with the lender, and he's been working with him, walking him through everything. And I ran into him. He's at my bank where I do business. I went in there yesterday and he said, "Oh my gosh, Dave is just amazing." He said, "Other lenders in the past just told me I wasn't ready or I never got a call back. They looked at my credit or whatever and they just kicked me to the curb." He said, "Dave gave me a detailed plan, told me everything I need to do, sent me literally like the websites, phone numbers for the credit card holders where you can be added as um authorize all the steps that it took to get him ready to buy. The lender literally step by step walked with him, gave him a game plan, and is leading him towards where he will be an appropriate buyer, look ready, right? In good credit standing so he can have the best situation. So I say this as just a simple example of how important it is to have reliable vendors who have not only your best interest, but also your clients and you all as a team when it comes to doing these deals. So lenders, again, they're losing money because they're missing those red flags. They're not properly vetting their borrowers, and most importantly, they don't have those reliable vendors. And that's something that will really press on as we move forward in the presentation because it's super, super important. So the first thing when dealing with your borrower, you want to identify them. Is this an investor? Is this a homeowner? And this is a developer. Now, why is this important? Because each of these type of borrowers, right, they have different needs. There's often different criteria that affect their borrowing power. And you as a private lender, knowing who your buyer profile, what their buyer profile is, will better help you serve them. So each of them requires a different risk tolerance and a review. So that's always super, super important is identifying who your ideal borrower is. And as you move in your business, you may want to have a niche, which ones you focus on based on your capabilities, based on the trusted vendors that you have, so you can effectively serve them and support them, not only with yourself, but with your trusted vendors as well. Like for me, my ideal lender works with homeowners, right? So he knows all the programs, all of the requirements, and all the things necessary to. Forgot my other role as a mom. Okay, baby, give me 1 second. So that's number one is identifying your ideal borrower. All right, so borrow vetting. What are we looking for? I'm not a lender, but I know credit patterns, right? How they're forgive me, you guys. Credit patterns. How what is their borrowing profile, right? How are they typically borrowing? Um, will show you a lot about how they do business. What is their property type, acquisition strategy? What are their credit patterns? What type of property? What is their exit strategy? And what is their track record? AI plus people equals your protection. So AI tools, they can pull your LLC history, scan property data, analyze portfolio performance, and flag non-consistent inconsistencies instantly. And how do you do this? So as you learn to utilize AI, oftentimes you'll get in your investor profile or something that they'll present to you as far as like their history. And then you can literally upload that to AI and have that technology find any inconsistencies, signals, and confirm if these things are true. This will save you days of work. Because the old traditional way, you probably had to make phone calls, right? Wait for certain references and things like that. So AI is going to accelerate that and help you when it comes to vetting your borrowers. And here's a sample prompt. If you are can write it down. And I also offer a prompt playbook for those that are in our academy, FYI. But this is a prompt that you can use. Analyze this borrower's portfolio for risk factors and identify inconsistencies in their stated strategy. Analyze this borrower's portfolio for risk factors and identify inconsistencies in their stated strategy. So whether you're using Chat GPT, whatever AI, that's an excellent prompt that will allow you to analyze your borrower. Now, how does AI support your due diligence? Again, it's going to analyze that information and what is the people component. Your trusted circle, your title company, your notary, they're gonna verify any contracts, documents you may have, and all of the paperwork required to help facilitate that deal. So, how do you build your trusted circle, your title, your notary, your realtor collaboration? AI can save you the time, but your people will still save you the deal. So, relationships matter. Vendor relationships matter because they make it faster, coordinated closings, reduce fraud exposure, clearer communication, accountability across all parties, and they also identify any red flags and unverified vendors. So you can also use AI to verify your actual vendors. The same way you look up your borrower, you can look up your vendors to ensure that they are trusted and reliable as well. And we call that the safety lender system. And it's a proven framework combining your AI vetting and your trusted vendor execution. And studies show that this helps with 40% faster closings, fewer failed deals, and stronger confidence. Mm-mm. So, what are some of the key roles of our partners? We have our notaries that help safeguard identity and document integrity. We have title companies that protect against liens and frauds. When we have realtors familiar with investor strategy to help validate deal assumptions and resale projections, excuse me. Realtors familiar with investor strategy to help validate deal assumptions and resale projections. All right. So when you combine accurate data with dependable people, you minimize risk and you maximize return. So one of the actions I would give you for this week is to define your ideal borrower, audit your vendors, and then automate one workflow. So if you know AI, it's used for automation. So as a trusted lender, I encourage you to find one way to utilize AI to make your business flow better. So one of the components of our business is the AI Academy for Real Estate, where we help businesses identify shortages, right, and use AI to accelerate. We provide hands-on AI training along with our vetted partners, notaries, title professionals to help you build your network as well. No, I don't have the Wi-Fi. I don't have the Wi-Fi. Okay, baby, give me 1 second. Um, Consistency builds confidence, and AI makes consistency easier. So, ways AI improves your borrower communication is by pre screening chatbots, automated intake surveys, and email sequences. And you eliminate bottlenecks, remove repetitive tasks, and create a more professional borrower experience. And here's another prompt you guys can utilize to assist with that. Create a borrower onboarding workflow that asks for project details, exit strategy, budget constraints, and past performance. Create a borrower onboarding workflow that asks for project details, exit strategy, budget constraints, and past performance. So, this is one way you can automate your workflow. As you intake customers, this can be an ideal AI tool to help accelerate your business. So I gave a lot of information, but the ultimate summary is that AI, along with your trusted vendors, are how you will be able to protect your money as a private lender. One of the things I recommend if you are looking to explore AI for accelerating your real estate business, you can book a strategy session. And we'll again do an audit of your business, see where it can use AI, and come up with a game plan that works best for you and your business. And if you scan this QR code, it'll give you the audit. You can fill out the questionnaire, probably takes about 3 minutes, and it'll send me an audit. And then you can book a session and see how we can help you in your business. Oh, wrong one. Or lava. And the floor is lava. So did you guys have any questions, concerns
Yeah.
about anything I said?
Yeah, I do have a question. So this is good information and thank you for the prompts. I love the idea of streamlining some of that due diligence with AI. When someone works with your team to come up with AI solutions, what exactly does that look like? Is that like your team kind of using the AI to create those systems, or is it your team connecting them with different software? Or like I'm trying to figure out what that looks like in terms of
Um,
engagement.
So it can look like one, the other, or a combination of both. And that's the purpose of the AI audit is to see what your business needs and how we can assist you with it. Some investors, some private lenders just need, trusted vendors to work with. If that's the case, we can connect you with that, whether it be us as realtors, title company, notary, mobile notaries, contract and acquisitions, whatever that looks like for your business, we come up with a custom plan. Some investors or lenders are looking to learn AI. So if you want to, for instance, we have a prompt playbook. So say you just want to learn how to properly prompt so you can do it yourself. We can give you a playbook and tell you specific ways to prompt properly because AI is great, right? Create me a Thank you. She's my marketing director. Take a picture of, or you can say, create a checklist, right? Create a checklist. That's fine. But when it comes to prompting, you can say things like, I am a private lender that serves investors in the DC metro area. My max allowable loan is $2 million. Create a checklist, right, for potential clients to vet them for a specific loan product you offer, right? And you can literally upload your terms to the AI so it can analyze your loan program. And then, based on that very specific prompting, that will be totally different from you just saying, create me a checklist for my borrowers. You know what I mean? So we teach very specific things like prompting, using reference photos, reference documents to help support your AI bot, right? Right? To make it work better for you. So it really just depends on what the client needs, how we fill it in. But we also can do one-on-one, right? Where there's literally coaching and mentorship, or you can be a part of the academy where there's different tools that we provide. We have our own AI automated systems that you can implement into your business. So there's a few components, but we believe that the most successful clients are the ones who have a customized plan that's specific to them.
Mm, okay. That's good to know. So I am going to ask you to share more about the academy, but I do have another question. So a lot of private lenders, when they get started, one thing that they're really intimidated by is the laws, right? So every state has different laws that apply to lending activities. And, they may be trying to figure out what is the best state to lend in terms of like the usury rates, in terms of the foreclosure process, or they may want to know, like, do I need a license to basically lend in this state? Have you seen any good use cases for that kind of research that is like somewhat reliable, just from a legal perspective? Because I'm sure like hiring an attorney is a kind of expensive process, just to figure out that you may not even want to be in that state. So have you seen a use case for AI and for that kind of thing?
I have seen a use case, not specifically in lending, but it's funny as an attorney, I have a client that's graduating law school
Hmm.
and is looking to discover what state, right, is best. And one thing I learned, because I'm not in law, I learned that some states require law school while others do not. All you have to do is take the bar. And that was via AI. So we always, again, you're going to hear me say it over and over again. We start with AI to accelerate the information, to get it as quickly as we can, but then we use our trusted professional to support that. So in that case, a prompt asking, what states are best for lending. This is my criteria. I don't want to do this. I do want to do that, whatever the specifics are. And then once we have that information, we verify it with a trusted professional, right? Realist, attorneys, lawyers can be expensive, but I always tell people sometimes, more often than not, you get what you pay for. So do you want to pay 250 an hour to get valid information, or do you want to pay thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars for making a major mistake, right? So when it comes to your business particularly, I think it's worth the investment. Of course, we want to accelerate with AI. You'll hear me reiterate that again. Sorry about that. We use AI for the acceleration, the automation, but we also want to verify there's nothing like experienced humans, right?
Hmm.
People can invalidate the human experience as much as they want, but there's nothing like real time experience when it comes to certain things.
Yeah, I agree. Can you tell us about the academy and what it's about, how it works, what comes with it, and things like that?
Absolutely. So, AI for Real Estate Academy is focused on real estate professionals. Whether you're a realtor, you're an investor, you're a private lender, whatever your space is, but you're doing some level of real estate. Um, and you want to accelerate your business, you may want to scale your business, or you may just want to get started in your business and you want to know how you can use AI to do that. Again, we start with a one-on-one consultation where we analyze your business to see the need, and sometimes that means one-on-one mentorship or coaching. Sometimes that means group mentorship or coaching. And sometimes that means using our AI toolkit, right, that we've established to help you automate your business. So there are different levels depending on your need and your level of investment. But again, it ultimately helps you to build and accelerate using everything we've learned over the years about AI. And just some background. So the real estate market, if you're in lending, if you're not, if you're just watching the news, the real estate market has really gone through some rough patches over the years. And the way we really came into AI was figuring out, what are we going to do for our business? It's not traditional. Like real estate is not traditional. Typically we have a spring market, and it's really like, repetitive. We can expect and anticipate. We know if we do this, make these phone calls, send these postcards, everything's going to be great come the spring. But the last few years have not been like that in any way. So the way we came across it is, okay, the world is drastically changing. The real estate world is drastically changing, and technology has a lot to do with that change. So, what can we do? How can we pivot so our business is future proof? So, that's how we got into AI automation, doing our research. And it really just started with social media marketing, right? Create me a prompt. You are an SEO expert, or create me a SEO optimized caption. All it started with just small things, and then it just got bigger. It started with transaction management and really eliminating a lot of the tedious tasks so we can focus more on being real estate professionals. And that's how we got into it and saw how helpful it could be to other people. Fun fact, this year, over 50,000 real estate agents did not renew their licenses. And
Wow, really?
what a lot of people don't know is that very few real estate agents even sold one property last year. Um, and that says a lot. And I definitely attribute that to AI technology, because real estate is one of those businesses traditional. I have real estate agents that still wet sign every document. They literally get in their car, go to their client. And I'm like, I don't know how long you're going to be able to do that. But that's just a small part of business. Can you imagine running a successful business the old way? Any business for that matter, right? Still doing things the way they did it 20 years ago. So the biggest component of AI for Real Estate Academy is showing you how to shift and future proof your business so you're not left behind.
That's very interesting. I did not know that statistic. Do you find that there's an age kind of threshold where you're seeing more of people trying to hold on to the past? Because I find that with my older relatives or even my older friends, like I have friends who are over 50, and it's just a lot of resistance to AI. And it's heartbreaking because I'm like, I don't know, like I think you have to at some point adapt. Um,
Mhm.
and I don't, there's just a lot of fear around that. So do you find in your work that when you're in your community and your membership, like a lot of the clients that you're having to do the most coaching or handholding with are on the older end, or you're not really seeing a difference?
Yes, and well, no. If I can say yes or no, I would say no. I think the inability to accept the change is a mindset. So
Mm.
I have people, younger people. I don't really see the young. What is the generation in the 20s? What is that, Gen Z?
Gen Z.
I don't really see Gen Z. They're with it. They're with it, right?
Yeah.
But anything after that is touch and go. Some people just will not accept the change. I have some older people that are very understanding and realizing that what AI is doing, and they're taking all the necessary steps to embrace it. And then I have people that are younger that just don't want to educate themselves. They either fear it because they think AI is this dangerous thing that's going to steal their identity, and like it's a horror movie, or they just don't want to get the education or take the time to understand it. So I don't think there's a age. It's not age specific at all. It's just a mindset. Are you ready to grow, or are you going to stay stagnant?
Okay. Yeah, I love that. And I think that applies across the board, right? Like that growth mindset as opposed to the fixed mindset is what really allows someone to embrace new technology in general. AI is not the exception. And apparently, AI is not new. I've been learning this and I'm just like, I think it's just becoming more accessible to consumers, but it's really not necessarily new technology, which gives
Not at
me
all.
some weird comfort. I don't know why. But
But think about, so I don't know, I might be telling my age. So do you know the movie Total Recall?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, I'm old. So Total Recall was with the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it was like you could change, you stepped into this thing and put it on your around your head and you can be in a whole different place. It was like virtual reality, right?
Mm,
And there was also a component of it where there was a video phone, and this came out, I want to say, in the 90s, and it was so futuristic. Oh my
yeah.
god, a video phone and virtual reality. Look at us now,
I know,
right?
right?
We're literally on video right now. We FaceTime our friends every single day, and it's normal, right? So art mimics life. So when we saw those movies with these things that looked real that were created by a computer, that was years ago. So
Yeah.
AI has been around for a very, very long time. So I tell people AI is not the future. AI is now.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the most surprising use case for your own business that you have seen with AI? So, I mean, people, I feel like you said, it started with marketing and then it's expanding and it's becoming just like so much. But what is like the thing that has been the most transformative for you in your business that you were able to kind of delegate to AI?
That's a great question. For me personally, I would say team building. Being a mentor and coach, assisting other professionals, being able to create templates, scripts, documents, workbooks, whatever I need to run my business, to help my clients like this. With the right prompt, I can have an entire um, game plan. For instance, I have new agents that come into my team, right? That want mentorship, game plan, new agent orientation, checklist, all of the things. And when you are automating your business, rinse, repeat, those are your systems, those are your processes. Those are the things that scare people and why a lot of people can't, move up in their business because those processes and those systems are not in place. So being able to literally at the drop of a dime create these things, it gives me space to be great elsewhere. So me, that has been amazing in my business. Amazing in my business.
Okay. Okay. So I have one last question for you. But I'm
Absolutely.
going to give you a story first. So I went to this event by Black Girl Ventures and they were like establishing their roots in LA because they said that they're mostly on the East Coast. And this guy was there on a panel and he has started and sold multiple or seven figure companies. And he made a comment that really just gave me chills. But he was like, the next 12 to, no, he said the next 18 to 24 months, there will be so many people who create businesses with AI that free themselves financially. They're going to become millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires in the next 18 to 24 months. And this is why he actually quit his job because he went back to work because he had built and sold these companies, then went back to work for like a residency. And then he was like, wait a minute, I don't want to miss this moment. So he quit his job to build this massive company. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because he was basically like, look, if you are called to do something, if you have something you want to do, this is the time. And you need to bring AI on as a co-founder in your business. And I was like, oh, shoot, this is very interesting. So it really gave me that feeling of like, if you play it well in the next, year and a half to 2 years, you could really make a huge impact. So my question for you is for anybody thinking about getting started as a real estate agent, real estate investing, private lending, like whatever that's close to that area, even like syndications. Like I'm now looking up information on like, well, how can I get some of this money to, I don't got to do this mailbox, real true mailbox money, right? Like how can I get in on what they're doing over there? And really using AI to facilitate that education. But what would you say to someone who's just thinking about it, right? And they have this opportunity in front of them, like, what is the first thing that they need to do? in terms of AI, like, the first tool they need to get, the first prompt they need to put in, whatever, if they're trying to figure out how do I take advantage of this time period? How do I not miss the mark?
Absolutely. Um, Whoever that person is absolutely right. For one. But my suggestion would be to whatever you're thinking, whatever you're trying to decide, ask AI. That would be my first suggestion. And I mean, literally, whatever thought is in your mind, I am a graduate from whatever with a degree, and I do not know what to do with my life. I want to do this, but whatever is literally the thought in your mind, put it in Chat GPT. And I would say the very first I would say is Chat GPT. If you want to get fancy, get plus pro, pay that extra, but literally talk to AI like it is your mentor, like it is your friend, and tell it what your struggles are. Feed it as much information about you so it can give you a specific response. So I do have a prompt. It's very long and detailed, but I'll give you like an overview, right? I am a graduate from University of Maryland with a degree in psychology. I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know what to do. I love to write. I love to dance. I'm a little scatterbrained, but I'm a hard worker. Create me a step by step game plan that will take me from zero to $1 million in 12 months. I am willing to invest $1,000, $200 a month, whatever it is. Feed it what you want. Use what you know about me.
Wow.
Enter. That would be my suggestion.
Oh, wow.
And I'm telling you, in that prompt, of course, they're gonna. To add on to it, I would say ask me as many questions as you need to give you 95% plus accuracy of success.
Mm,
So I hope it is recorded, right? But I feel like me personally, that prompt changed my life.
mm.
And I know that if I were to advise anyone, I would use that prompt for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
Very interesting. I want anyone who actually uses this prompt to reach out to Andrea and let her
Please.
know
I
what.
want to know. I want to know. I want to know how it worked for you.
Yeah, because that's very interesting. I love the zero to $1 million in 12 months.
Mhm.
That sounds amazing. And even just saying like what you're willing to invest, like providing that context is so important. And I think what a lot of people miss in their prompting too. So I think they can get a lot of value from being in your academy and understanding how to properly and appropriately use AI, because I've also seen some inappropriate uses.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But also with any business, and just from our interactions with one another, whatever business you're in, whatever tools you're using, success starts with the mindset, right? So just like I mentioned with the age gap, that has nothing to do with it. It's the mindset. So if you are a person that sees the way the world is transitioning and you have the mindset to do what's necessary to put yourself in a position to win, that's the start. The start happens with the shift of your mindset. Everything else is a tool, right? It's just a tool. It's so many tools out here you can use, but you have to first have the mindset of growth, right? Future thinking, success, to even believe that you can make $1 million to start with. Because anybody can enter a prompt, but if they don't truly believe they're capable, this game plan that AI, that Chat GPT comes up with is going to seem foreign. It's going to seem unrealistic, right? And they're not going to do what it tells them to do. So, first and foremost is the mindset shift, and then comes the AI and the automation, right?
Yeah, and even if they're a person who is like, I don't have the mindset, I feel like you can even start there and be like, look, I am struggling with a scarcity
Yes,
mindset.
yes,
And can you give me a plan, a learning plan, an action plan so I can
yes,
move from scarcity to abundance? Like,
yes,
I love that you can literally start wherever, and get a plan of action on how to
yes.
change your circumstance. So it's just a very the age that we're in right now, I think on the one hand it's very liberating and exciting, but then on the other hand it's a lot of pressure because it's like if you F this up, like
Look, I gave you everything. I gave
literally.
you everything. It's like I don't have anything else for you, right? I've given you all I got. So
Yes, and I think that's the pressure. It's like you got all the tools. If you mess this up, it's on you for
that
real.
part. Yep. Yep.
So yeah, so thank you so much for all the value you've given us, all the game you've given us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And do you have any last words? I'm definitely going to share your audit. I'm definitely going to share. Wait, do you have a link to the academy?
I do. And
Okay.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you for the opportunity. Like I said, my biggest thing is sharing what I've learned, right? I learn something new every single day. So if I can share with someone, I feel like I've done something.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put it in a chat. This is the link for the AI audit. Again, it's going to analyze your business, anything that your business may need. It's going to give you like a scalable idea of how much you may need AI. Some need it more than others, and then we come up with a game plan. You can book a session and we go from there. And also, again, real estate, realtors, real estate team, title. If you are a realtor and you're looking for a team that is using AI to be successful, those are one of the things we bring to our team members. So we have a lot of things in our arsenal, and hopefully, you guys can find something that works for you.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.